Hey guys, it's Hannah, and today I'm going to do my July wrap-up and August TBR, but I'm really tired, so got my coffee, gonna get through this. Explanation as to why I'm so tired. It's not that long after the booktubeathon, lost a lot of sleep there. I've had family over, they left this morning, lost a lot of sleep there. Tomorrow I have to wake up at 5 to go to my freshman orientation camp for college, so I'm not gonna get much sleep tonight. And I'm just gonna go ahead and explain while I'm pre-filming everything. So basically August, I'm gonna get back from camp on the 7th, then I'm gonna have the 8th to wash clothes and repack, because on the 9th, my family and our family friends, we all leave for our road trip vacation. We get back from that on the 16th, and then on the 20th, I move into my dorm. So that is why you will be seeing a lot of pre-filmed videos. That being said, I don't know when in relation to me filming this will go up, so yeah, no clue. Thanks to the booktubeathon, I finished 19 books this month. 19 books. That has never happened before. Like, never. Now, for the sake of this video, I am not going to be recapping the books read during the booktubeathon. If you would like to see my opinions on those, I will link my final vlog down below, as well as my playlist thing with vlogs, since all the vlogs are only booktubeathon vlogs, because that's when I started vlogging. So I'll link the playlist down below and then the final vlog, because the final vlog I talk about the books I read, and then the playlist you can like see the progress and the lighting changed. So I'm only going to be talking about the books that I read before the booktubeathon. The first book I finished in the month of July was Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. This book is about a girl who has a webcomic series called Monster C, and it's actually really popular online, but people don't know that she's the creator because she's kept herself anonymous. And it's just about some stuff going on around that, and then a new boy comes to school and that sort of thing. I read Made You Up by her about 2-ish years ago, and I absolutely loved that book. It kept me sane during a goat show. And this book did not disappoint. This book was amazing. I think she handled anxiety really well. I think she just does an amazing job of talking about and showing mental illnesses. And I loved how it showed not only how a mental illness could affect the person who has it, but also the people surrounding her. And I really liked how it showed that. It was beautiful. I loved the art in the book. I loved just the whole premise of the story. I loved all the different relationships. It was just an amazing book. And if you have not read it yet, which I would be surprised because it is so hyped, but if you have not read it yet, I highly suggest you read it because it was fantastic. The next book I read was Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. That's a big, why did I say that? I don't know. This book is about a girl who has social anxiety, and so she doesn't like to go outside, and she always wears dark sunglasses because she has trouble making eye contact with people. And it's kind of about that surrounding life. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I feel like it moved a bit fast. But again, this is one that I liked how it kind of showed not only the person with the mental illness, but also the family and friends surrounding the person with mental illness, and how they react to that and how they deal with that. And so I really liked that aspect of it. So I'd say it's like it was a 4 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like an amazing, oh my gosh, this like touched me, loved it book. The next book I read was Your Welcome Universe by Whitney Gardner. This book is about a deaf girl who is a graffiti artist, and one day at her school, specifically for deaf people, she covers up a slur directed towards her best friend, and then she gets in trouble for it and suspended for it. Then she's at this school that is not specifically for deaf people, it is a typical public school, and so it's about her experience with the whole transition and trying to fit into this new school, but also trying to do her graffiti art that she absolutely loves. And someone starts working over the top of her graffiti, and so she starts having like a turf war. I thought this book was great. I've never read a book about graffiti or a book about a deaf person, and I really like how she worked having a deaf character, since that's different to write about, and I really liked the way she did that. I also really liked all of the graffiti slang, and so I went to Austin as I was reading the book, and like I'd see, I was like, oh, I get it, that's a tag. So like I kind of understood what the graffiti was trying to articulate, I guess you could say. Not completely, I'm still a noob, but I had more of an understanding. I was like, I know a term related to this. I really like how you can tell she researched graffiti, just how she did the sign language, and then it was just the art. It was a good solid read, and I really enjoyed it. I did see the little twist coming, so that wasn't a surprise for me, but the story was just overall so enjoyable that I'm fine with that. The next book I read was How to Travel Without Seeing by Andreas Neumann. Now I actually own this book, but Lisby's borrowing it and she hasn't returned it yet. She's still reading it, it's fine. I actually have a full review for this book and I will leave that link down below. Basically, this book is about this author. He's a popular author in the Spanish-speaking world, and so he was going on a book tour. And so instead of trying to write a book and figuring out how to schedule his writing around this crazy schedule of a book tour, he decided that he would kind of take notes on the tour and write more of a journal about his travels. And it was really good and I really liked it, and again, I'll leave the review link down below. But I did enjoy it and I recommend you go check out the review and then see if you want to read the book because I thought it was great. The next book I read was Girl Interrupted by Susanna Kaysen. This book is very similar to The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath because she's actually at the same mental health institution that Sylvia Plath was at. And this book is about a girl who ends up in a mental health institution and about her experiences with that. And I thought it was great. It's one of those books that I don't know how to describe, and I don't know how to describe why I liked it or how I liked it. But just know that it was amazing. I highly recommend you go read it, especially if you really like Sylvia Plath, because it is very distinctly not Sylvia Plath, but it's similar enough that you kind of like be reminiscent and reminded of that. I just love reading about her experiences in there and the different people in the institution, and it was just a solid 5 out of 5 star read. Shout out to Lisby for the recommendation. The next book I read was War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. Now I read The Time Machine by H.G. Wells and thought it was meh. I read this by H.G. Wells and also thought it was meh. I really want to like H.G. Wells' books. I don't know why, but I really want to. And I haven't yet. They've both been meh. The Time Machine was better than this one. This one out of the two is my least favorite. It was boring. Like, there are these like things invading the earth and I thought it was boring. I don't know. I really don't. Basically, this book is about things coming from Mars and invading the earth and attacking and people trying to survive. Like, it sounds like it'd be great. I thought it was boring. This is one of those books that was kind of like speed reading. So that tells you that I didn't really care for much. Because I don't normally speed read unless I don't really like the book, so then I'm trying to get through it as quickly as possible. I keep trying to like his writing. I don't know why I really want to like his books, but I want to, and I haven't, so I don't know. The next book I read was The One Memory of Flora Banks by Emily Barr. This book is about a girl who doesn't remember anything up to a certain point because she has an illness type thing, and then one day she is kissed and she remembers that kiss, and then she goes on this kind of adventure because of that. And I wasn't expecting it to be as intense as it was, and I wasn't expecting it to be quite as confusing as it was. Since the main character doesn't remember anything, it does get repetitive, and that does get annoying. Like, you know that has to happen, because it makes sense. It's one of those things, like, it makes sense, like, the author, you go for doing that, that's what you're supposed to do, but it still annoys me. Like, I know it's what's supposed to happen, but, like, it still annoys me. Overall, I'd say it was a good book. The ending was... I don't know. Like, it was one of those books that I liked it, but it wasn't a love. It was one of those, like, you know, 3-star books in the middle. I liked it, didn't love it. The next book I read was Wildman by J.C. Gager. This book is about a valedictorian, front row trumpet player. What is it? First chair trumpet player. Basically, you know, top-notch kid. Got a girlfriend, got friends. He's trying to get back from an audition for a party and his car breaks down in this small little hick town, and he ends up staying in that hick town longer than expected because his car isn't being fixed, but he wants that car, and so it's about him experiencing being a new person in this town and not having these labels to conform himself to. This was another like 3-star book. Like, it wasn't great, but it wasn't awful. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like my favorite thing ever. There were like a few little tidbits I was like, yes, I like that, and then there are other tidbits like, this is... nah, I'm good. All those people saying that it's a good road trip read, I do think it is a good road trip read, so I agree with that recommendation. Next book I read was The Boy Who Was Raised as a Dog by Bruce D. Perry. This book is by a child psychiatrist, and it talks about kids that he's helped, you know, as a therapist, and their stories, and it's hard to explain because, like, it's a psychology book, but basically It's about children's psychology, and it was fantastic. Another shout out to Lisby for this recommendation, because it was amazing. The stories are so crazy and so real and so raw and so good. You have to read it. If you even like kind of like psychology, then you need to read this book, because it was fantastic, and like a lot of things can be learned from it. It was just a great book. 5 out of 5. Next book I read was Cut by Patricia McCormick. This book is about a girl who cuts herself to help cope with things, but she never cuts too deep. But then one day someone sees that she is cutting, and so she gets sent to the hospital. I thought it was pretty good. The reason behind her mental illness is different than most books, and so I really liked that aspect, and it was very short, very quick, and I thought it was a good, solid read. I thought it handled everything really well, and I enjoyed it a lot. The last book I read before the booktubeathon was Etiquette and Espionage by Gail Carriger. You will be seeing a video where I like test read books, and this was the winner for that, so keep your eyes peeled for that video. This is about a finishing school where they teach you not only to, you know, be a proper lady, but also to anybody. And I thought it was great. It was hilarious, it was funny. The main character was so funny, and I loved it. It was just a really funny book. It was super cute, and not like a favorite book of all time, but definitely one that I'll keep reading, especially because I already own the second and third book in the series. Now on for the August TBR. It's a bit spotty. I do know that I want to read Tash Hart's Tolstoy. I have a problem with this one. It needs to be returned by the 10th, so that means I need to return it on the 8th, the one day I'm home. So that means I need to read it during camp, and I don't know how much I'm gonna have to read during camp. So hopefully I can get to this. Hopefully. But this is what I want to... I just hit my glasses. Why do I always hit my glasses? But this is definitely one I want to read next. I know it's similar to the Lizzie Bennet Diaries series, but they make a web series about Anna Karenina. Did I say her name right? That. You know what I'm talking about. And I believe the main character is asexual, which I've never read a book about that. So I'm just really excited to read this book, and I want to get to it soon. Hopefully I can before I have to return it, because then I guess I might just go buy it. Because I really feel like I'm gonna like it, but also, I don't know, and I'm always scared to buy books when they're like not super on sale before I've read it and know I like it. You know what I'm talking about? Like if I haven't read it and it's like $2, I can do that, but if I haven't read it and it's like $10, that's pushing it. And then I downloaded some books from the library on my Kindle. Let's see, what did I download? I downloaded The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings. I downloaded Let's Get Lost by Odyssey something. I don't remember the name. That one. What else did I download? I don't remember. I can look. But yeah, I've downloaded some books on my Kindle for this trip, and I'll probably bring a few books. Yeah, that's the TBR. Yeah, so that's it for this video. Comment down below and let me know what you have read this month, how many books you read this month, because if you did the booktubeathon, then I bet it's a good number. Also, comment down below with a camp story, because since I'm going to camp, and to be honest, I'm not that excited for it because I'm not much of a camp person, because they're always so social. And the main thing I'm scared about, I like sleep, and I try to get it when I can. And I've been told by like everybody that you're not gonna get any sleep, you're gonna be living off of coffee and Red Bull, and I'm like, that sounds awful. So I'm scared. Keep me in your prayers. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all again in another one soon.